Okay, so we had to take a little break because my camera was giving me some problems. So, let's just continue to wrap it up in terms of, just where you are now. And then after that, we'll get into some other juicy questions I have. So just kind of explain, out of everything that you've been through and, your spiritual path and just coming into Christ, explain to me, an update of where you're at now. What does it all mean to you now in terms of everything you understood you went through?
Okay. Where I've come to currently. I've kind of, like I said, it's a big puzzle. So it's like putting things together now. And I realized that the gift that God allowed me to operate under all makes sense now. Whereas like the abuse, the knowledge that I have of witchcraft and that side and the information, using that now as a tool to navigate, I am more sensitive than I was when I was younger, of course, because I have completely surrendered myself to it instead of fighting against it. So I'm highly sensitive to people. I've been called everything, and I just let people feel how they would like. I've been called sensitive. I was a woman with blonde hair, blue eyes, but they call me a sensitive because I'm empathic. I can be around a person and know that they're sick.
You take on people's energy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And that's not a big thing in my life, Patricia, but it's not a big thing in mine. I am more sensitive when it comes to sickness and infirmity, which is why I get hit so hard, because I tend to have a stronger pull towards that. And I feel like because of that, I get hit a lot by whether it's the backlash or just because of the work that I set out to do to help people, pray for people, whatever. I get hit in that field. But at this point, I have just, because it's more tormenting when you don't fall and just say, you know what, whatever it is, God, I do it. It's more
when you don't do that.
When you don't do that, because it doesn't stop. I have done everything. I have drank every alcoholic beverage. I have partied. I have had sex out of wedlock. I've done it all. And I've done some of those things on purpose because I didn't want to do this.
Right.
And
anything.
It doesn't stop. It's just... So where I am now is... I still believe that the call for my life is to be a prophetess. That I do. I don't throw that around. I don't like to throw that word around. The word has
because you'll get a lot of fish that you don't want to deal with.
And not only that, that title in itself makes people delirious. And I am not that one. Because someone who's called truly to the prophetic knows that this is not a glamorous life and knows that this is not comfortable. And it's not so, I want to do it. It's not that at all. And so I don't like to do that. And I think it makes people uncomfortable too. I don't want people to think I'm peering into them 24/7 because I don't. Unless God tells me to do so, I'm not looking into it. You know what I mean? And that's just me. But I have come comfortable with that.
Okay. So now that I have understanding of that, I just got some curious questions.
Sure.
You say you earlier you're talking about you hear a audible voice from God, and I always wanted to know, like, what does God say? I mean, does he sound like a man, a regular man's voice, or does he sound like a voice that you've heard in your head before, or is it something that you just can't explain?
Oh, it's a little bit what you said. It's really hard to explain, but I know for a fact that the way I hear God is I hear it as a voice. Someone asked me the same question, and when I said it, they looked at me like I'm crazy, but this is how I hear it. I hear a voice. It's not a voice like a personality, it's a voice. Like, it's just like I'm talking to you. But I am not very strong a lot of times in hearing as I am a seer. So God uses me in pictures and objects and things that has brought understanding to me, so I can be amongst a lot of people and gotta I'll have a picture in my mind when I stand before those people, whether I close my eyes or I'm looking at you, and it'll show me a star. And depending on what kind of star it is, this is how I can explain. And once I explain that, it puts that person that he's speaking to out. So don't always hear. Most of the time I'm a seer, so I see pictures, and God gives me things in riddles that people don't understand, and I do.
So so it's not like necessarily that's a Raven thing where you're seeing like movies or anything, but you mean like, you can look at me and all of a sudden, you can just, I don't know, maybe it's like a Prince of Persia thing where you just see like certain images and pictures, and after that
that's where it comes from.
Okay.
Makes
I was
sense.
saying that again. I was like, what are you looking at me like that for? Right. Oh, nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's exactly. That's exactly how it works. And I don't it's not scripted. It's not scripted. It's more of, this is what you see, and then automatically the word comes to me. It could be something completely not intact. Like I said, it could be a star, but that star got that woman out so that I can minister to her about sexual abuse. It's not connected like, oh, star, she's so bright, she's one. It doesn't click like that with me. It's just to get the person I need to minister to out of the crowd.
Interesting.
It's just, that's just what it is.
Okay, so what would you say to people who delve in astrology? People who delve into palm reading and those things, and they say that it's just absolutely has everything to do with the planets. These are not gods or entities that are controlling these things. These are strictly energy that's coming straight from the planet, and it influences us and all that. Let's just ignore the fact that, the first concept of astrology was, to be attributed to gods, and you took on those personalities of gods, Aries, Venus. Let's just ignore all that.
Okay.
And we still got people who are saying, let's just ignore history. It was all wrong.
Yeah.
It's all science.
Right.
And it's all, it's not spirits or entities you gotta worry about. It's completely free to. All it is energy. Seeing that you're in the spiritual realm, is that true or not? Are these people being manipulated by spirits? Or is this really a spiritual phenomenon that God has set up but is not talking about it?
I think that I'm on the fence with that, only because of the different people I have encountered throughout my life who believe differently than I do, or people or even my own curiosity. I feel like with astrology, I feel like when you really study, you go in depth in your study of astrology and all the way back to stargazing. When I looked at stargazing and I looked at what we have now, to me, I feel like it's not in a pure form. I feel like then, this is how they were guided. This is what they saw, even the whole casting of lots. This is their gamble. You know what I mean? But it wasn't considered love. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's all the same, just like we were talking earlier. It's about the whole, I know this is off topic, but about the gun law. It has, to me, the gun laws has nothing to do with the person who gets their hands on a weapon. You see what I'm saying? It's not my same thing with that. I feel like in astrology, there are a lot of things that can pull a lot of things out of you that are accurate. Capricorn is dead on when you look at how an astrologer sees a Capricorn, because I'm a Capricorn and they read me to the T.
Right.
But I think that it goes back to the source. I feel like once we decide what source we're getting it from, then I feel that's where the perversion comes in. Because once we rely on horoscopes, once we rely on palm reading, psychics, then I feel like we have left our original source. Because I don't feel like God, those stargazers were doing that. They were seeing him. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Right now, I feel like the astrologers are not a source. It's a familiar spirit. Mm-hmm. So when I feel like people are operating in a familiar spirit, I feel like that's what psychics do. I feel like that's what mediums do. I don't think that people really speak to the dead. I feel like they speak to the familiar spirit.
Yeah. That knew the person.
That knew the person.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I mean, because I'm a heavy, hardcore researcher. You know, once I find things about, you know, twins that are born the same day and they're supposed to, you know, be under the same type of personalities, but they're completely different. What do you do with those? At the same time, you know, I'll even look at myself. You know, I have friends that tell me, hey, you get hurt a lot? It's like, well, yeah, I used to. I was like, oh, you're an Aries. I'm like, well, what do you mean? You were born in April, weren't you? Yeah. What's your favorite element? Fire. Really? You know, and yeah, really, my favorite element is fire. You know, you're Aries, you're the Ram. You're the kind of person that's kind of like this, aren't you? And like, well, I pretty much am. And those are things I also have to struggle with and think about. But you know, either these personalities are so general that anyone can fit them, or you know what I mean, or they're either getting dead on or something. But even then, with the 13th sign, they took it out because you know it doesn't match the solar system today. I mean, it was just I'm still trying to find somewhere where it's consistent that astrology is actually true unconditionally. That's the way I measure truth. I put it on the table, everything. If it's true, that means it's true no matter what. It's like a statue. Is he the same in the rain? Is he the same in the baking sun? Is he the same? You know, he stands the same. You know, that's called character. You know, it means to be engraved. Just like if you continue to think on something, you'll have grooves in your brain. You know, character. And when I try to find, you know, consistency with astrology, you know, it's like I can't, and it's too fickle, and there's too many little things, and you know, and they found all this stuff during the time when they thought that the Earth was the center and the geocentric, and now they're switching all around with this, and you know, but at the same time, there still are little bits of, you know, things that I could find patterns in, you know what I mean? But we could all go to the scriptures where you know God talks about, you know, don't look to the stars, don't look to the, you know, and that flattens the argument right there. But to a lot of people, they're like, you know, show me the sign, show me the way of why this is wrong. And you know, I was thinking about doing a video on it, but you know, another thing I wanted to ask you was, like, what's it like to, you know, pretty much know certain things about people? You know, was it something that was uncontrolled at first when you were just getting into your head? You know, you could walk in the room and it was just something uncontrolled? Or is it something where, you know, you'll have to ask God and just say, Lord, you know, can you show me a little something about these people or whatever?
You ever see the movie, what's the movie called Where the Shapeshifter is in the movie? You know what I'm talking about? Little girl, she draws everything, she sees things. And I can't think of the movie, but it was one of my favorite movies because that's how it is with me. I don't ask for it. I don't even know. Unless I'm praying for someone. Unless I don't ask. And then the only reason why I don't ask is because it's uncomfortable to see people in any light that I feel like, oh God, it's private, and it's what he shows me, but I don't ask for it. These are things that when I can't be in a mall too long because I can't do it. I get tired. I have to sit down. You know what I mean? Just too much going on. You know, so I'm like, I don't know how to turn it off. It doesn't. I ask when I'm administering. It's the only time I ask. So when I minister before I get there, I ask God.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, it was a completely random question.
True.
Because I'm probably never going to have opportunities. If I stare at you long enough, will you just begin to just see certain things? Like, is that how it works sometimes too? Like, you know, you can't even do normal stuff, you know, because all of a sudden you'll just start to
You can kind of leave you and come back.